skyscraper. This may take a while. Hope you cleared your schedule.
What's up, agents? How y'all doing? Hope you guys are all hanging in there, being as safe as you need to be. Anybody out on the West Coast here, I hope you guys are surviving this heat wave okay. I was hoping to get this video out quite a bit sooner. Unfortunately, given the heat wave, my equipment's been having a lot of issues. I can't even use my Streamlabs OBS. The lag is too much. It's having all sorts of issues. Can't be streaming or any of that. So I do apologize. This was going to be a 5-minute build guide video, but as I got more and more into this, I realized that there's a lot more to what I was checking out. So what I wanted to do was check out talents that people tend to avoid for different reasons. Today we're going to cover the efficient talent for the chest, as well as the energized talent for the backpack. We're also going to be looking at the perfectly efficient chest piece as well, and we're going to see what sort of viability there may be. Before we do that, do me a favor, agents, smash that like button if you learned anything new. If I haven't already, hopefully by the end of this, I will have earned your subscription. The best thing you can do to help my channel, share this video. And if you guys learned anything new, or you think of something that I haven't considered, please leave a comment, share with the community. Thank you so much. Without further ado, let's get into these perks and why I had to get a little more in depth with them. All right, so first we'll go ahead and talk about the energized backpack talent. There's not as much going on mechanically with this. It's really easy. You use an armor kit and it gives you +1 skill tier for 15 seconds. If you are at skill tier 6 already, this will put you into your own personal overcharge. Do note that this is different from the overcharge you can get from Future Perfect. So you could stack a Future Perfect weapon to get a second overcharge. And as we are running with this healer build, we're running BTSU gloves, which gives the group overcharge. So theoretically, you could run with 3 different overcharges using the energized backpack. It does have a 60-second cooldown, which means that every 75 seconds, you can have 15 seconds of overcharge. The interesting thing is if you were to try to take advantage of the multiple overcharges, over the course of every over the course of every 75 seconds, and we'll just round it up, every 2 minutes, you could essentially have 3 overcharges going on, about 45 seconds worth of overcharge, even up to about a minute of overcharge, having these overlaps. So there is some utility that way. That being said, the fact that there's such a long cooldown, it doesn't do anything for you the rest of the time. So I don't see much utility to this when you consider also there's something like the Acosta's Go Bag where you get the same effect from using a grenade. Yeah, it's an exotic piece, it takes up the exotic slot, but you gain bonus grenades, you gain bonus med kits, you gain bonuses to so many different attributes. You get a lot more bang out of your buck, and the Acostas will give you an overcharge, basically the same type of overcharge you get from Energized. So Energize seemed like it would work well in combination, and it does. It synergizes well with efficient. It's just there's so many better options and so many other things you could do that are better than using Energize. So Energized, my opinion, give it a pass. Let's talk about efficient and perfectly efficient. So efficient gives you a 50% chance when you use an armor kit to not actually consume it. The reality is I don't use armor kits that much and I really don't depend on them. But that being said, I thought maybe we can use this as a solid build. So half the time when you use your armor kit, you won't even use it up. So that's pretty cool. You do, whatever your specialization armor kit bonus is, you do get 100% bonus to that. In some cases, it will buff the duration of these. In some cases, it will not. So it's kind of misleading when it says that it buffs 100% of the bonuses to the specializations. But that being said, I will do my best to quickly cover what those differences are and how that's effective there. The perfectly efficient armor kit it ups the percentage chance to not consume a kit from 50 to 75%. So the funny thing is, so that's actually a 50% better chance because we're adding 25% to 50. 25 is half of 50, so it's 50% better. In actual practice, I was finding that using perfectly efficient, I almost never consumed an armor kit. So it will be very rare. And by the time you do consume one, most likely there's going to be 3-4 armor kits laying around the battlefield that you could pick up. So with perfectly efficient, you do get a much better chance to always have your armor kits. The 1% armor regen is always a bonus, so that's cool. So what it really came down to is how effective is efficient in practice, especially when combined with the specialization kits. The idea of just not consuming an armor kit, there's very little utility I find over running any other chest talent that will add synergy to whatever build you're running. So just to have the extra armor kits, I don't think there's a reason for that. So what we had to do was look at the specialization armor kits. Are there any of these specialization armor kits that suddenly shine and are of great benefit when combined with efficient or perfectly efficient? All right, agents, now we're going to quickly try to go through the specialization armor kits. This is just my opinion of kind of the ones with the least amount of utility as I find it to the ones with the most amount of utility. Of course, depending on your build, how you play the game and all that, you may find one of these to be more appropriate for your play style. I'll try to do my best to just explain the ins and outs that I found with each one. So first thing we'll do is we'll start out with the Sharpshooter. So the Sharpshooter repairs 100% of your armor. It will remove any status effect debuffs you have and make you resistant to poison, bleed, and burn, I believe it is, for 20 seconds. And if we throw in efficient, that increases that duration to 40 seconds. So that's a pretty substantial resistance buff. And especially in something like legendary, heroic or legendary, that will be the difference whether if you throw your armor kit while you're, say, in cover, in fire, and burning, pop that guy, that will probably help to keep you alive. So after the Sharpshooter, we have the Technician. The Technician armor kit will heal you for 100% and heal all of your allied skill proxies within 10 meters. Add efficiency in, and that becomes 20 meters. And that's actually pretty good because you got to think that 20 meters in any given direction, any turrets, anybody with a shield, a striker drone, anything like that, you pop that, and those things are immediately back up to full health. So that can be beneficial, and this is, I guess, technically this is an armor kit that does help the team. It just doesn't do anything to heal your allies, specifically just their skill proxies, which you could argue could be even more important in some cases. Next, there's the Demolitionist, that when you use the armor kit in addition to healing, it gives you 30% weapon handling. I got to be honest, I underrated this. You throw in efficient on this, and now all of a sudden you have a 60% weapon handling bonus. And I mean, it basically takes out any sort of vertical recoil whatsoever. I was using my FAMAS, so basically the fastest firing assault rifle in the game, and still my shit went from bouncing all the way, all over the place. I guess it was up to the right. It was bouncing. It went from that to just literally just pulling straight across to the right as I was firing. I mean, it took all bounce out of it. So, yeah, any sort of high fire rate weapon, you could actually benefit from using this armor kit. Is it worth using efficient to double that weapon handling? I doubt it. I think just 30% would probably be pretty good. But that's for you to decide. Just my opinion. So next we have the gunner armor kit, which... this is an interesting one, and this is where we start to find some problems with the coding of perfectly efficient. What happens is, so you pop your gunner armor kit, it heals you, and it gives you 30% bonus armor. That is wonderful. You have this for 10 seconds. The efficient version gives you 60% of your armor as bonus armor. Unfortunately, it does not extend the duration. The duration is still only 10 seconds. Now, the real interesting thing is when we put on the perfectly efficient, we pop the armor kit and we get no bonus armor. And for whatever reason, putting on perfectly efficient and the gunner armor kit reverts back to a regular armor kit, almost as if you do not have a specialization armor kit equipped. Now, the firewall, this is where it actually starts to get pretty fun. The firewall bonus gives you 200% armor and 200% health back over 10 seconds. So this is an armor kit that you essentially could pop before you're gonna go balls to the wall, bust on into the melee of it all. Get on into the fray. Do that to keep yourself alive. Or in contrast, if you're needing to go get an ally up or something like that, do a revive, this might be something that could help to keep you alive while you're bringing your ally back, something like that. We pop it in that efficient, and it literally goes to 400% armor and health over those 10 seconds. It's, if you are running a hardcore pushing build, I do recommend the Firewall's armor kit. It is pretty cool. Again, is it worth running efficient? I do not believe so. And I can't get behind that. That's not something I can get behind. Lastly, this takes us to the Survivalist armor kit, which not only heals ourselves over 5 seconds, but adds healing to all of our allies within 20 meters for 5 seconds. Probably the coolest part about this is when you add in efficient, it is 200% armor regen that you get over 5 seconds. And it appears, and this is hard to test, but it seems like the radius goes from 20 meters to 40 meters, which basically means, with some very few exceptions, in any sort of endgame content that you're with a team, they're going to be within 40 meters of you when you pop that. So that's 200% armor for 5 seconds for everybody within that range. So if I had to use efficient, I would definitely go with Survivalist as having the most bang for the buck. There is a lot of argument. The Firewall gives you individually a lot of healing and has the bonus that it heals your health at the same time. So that would allow you to do some pretty incredible things. What is it? Is the Demolitionist? Yeah, the weapon handling. The weapon handling for the Demolitionist could be really amazing depending on the weapon you use. The faster firing weapon that you're using, the more and more you're going to appreciate that weapon handling. The Technician's cool, but I don't see a whole lot of utility out of that. And the Survivalist is cool if you're or the Sharpshooter rather. The Sharpshooter could be really cool if you're running solo and you just need a little bit of resistance, whatnot, because you're in a bad spot. All of a sudden you're hit with a status effect, and you can use that to maybe save your ass. So overall, there was so much more work that I had to do to find out how this perk worked out, and it's much more complicated. That's kind of my takeaway when I really have to come down to what's my opinion of Energized. Energized, it's like, dude, just use Acosta's or just use any other backpack that suits you better. There's just so many better choices for Energized. And when it comes to efficient, there's issues with using the perfectly efficient. So the first thing you'd probably want to do is slot that in just to make sure that you have those armor kits over and over again. But, it's so complicated to be using the armor kit at the right place for what you want to do. And if you're going to use a chest talent, just use one that just works and synergizes with your build immediately. Use something that just, as you're playing the game, will be procced, right? Any of these perks where it's like, okay, I got to go out of my way to do something to proc it over and over again, I just don't use it so much. It's like the idea of the backup boomstick to prop Future Perfect. I got to be a presence of mind to know that this dude's weak and he's within range, and I have to swap weapons and make sure that I connect with him to get that overcharge. It's like, fuck it. It's just so much easier to just play the game normally. You know what I mean? Of course, that's just my opinion. Let me know what you guys think. Have you guys been able to use either Energize or Efficient to good effect? Are you efficient with it? Oh, do you use it as a combo, as a group? Do you guys use one or the other? What have I missed? What do you guys know that I don't know? Help the community out. Throw some knowledge this way. And on the way out, do me a favor, guys. Smash that like button. Hopefully by now I have earned your guys' subscription. Again, best thing you can do to help is share this video. Leave your comments down below. You guys be as safe as you need to be. Thank you so much. I will catch you, agents, in the dark zone.
Go. Open up.